Hi guys, and welcome to a book review. I finished within 24 hours 3 different books, so this is the first one. I'm not sure what order I will put these live, but anyway. So let's go ahead and talk about the audiobook. Let me pull it up on my phone. Let's see. So I finished, it was an Audible original, or at least that's the little yellow banner that's on it, only from Audible. Second Skin by Christian White. This was narrated by Ellen Archer. Ellen did a really good job narrating this. It is fiction, and it's a mystery thriller, adult. One of the tags is paranormal. I don't really see that. I don't know. I don't see it, because now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's an invalid tag. I would go in thinking like demonic possession or hauntings, something with ghosts. No, there is no paranormal in this book at all. So, Second Skin is, okay, so you're following, sorry, you're going to see this guy pop up a little bit. My mom got this when she went on vacation. She got this for me for Christmas when she went on vacation to Disneyland like the week before. It is so soft, and so if I'm a little like buzzed or like sensorily, like I'm just kind of agitated, because of how soft this is, it's very soothing. So it's very calming. So you'll see this pop up a bit. Anyway, okay. So Second Skin by, who did I say? Christian White. Okay, I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. So this one, you're following 2 perspectives. Mostly, one is kind of just like a secondary perspective that you get some stuff from this character's perspective less frequent. So the primary perspective, let's start with that. So the primary perspective is, what's her name? Marcy Keefe. And she has a, 9 or 10-year-old daughter named Erin. So Marcy is a single mother. So I had a lot of sympathy towards her because I grew up in a single-parent household, right around the same age as Erin. My parents divorced when I was 9 years old, so I can see kind of a couple of things of why they were done. I definitely was not the type of child to do that, but I can see certain kids doing certain things, which I don't want to really say because it's massive spoiler. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But okay, so basically, so Marcy Keefe, she does still refer to, talk to her mother and stuff as well. And her mom is very much the get over it. So what has happened to kind of spur this conversation with Marcy's mother is that Marcy's daughter, Erin, has started having nightmares and acting real strange and saying things that as a 10-year-old she should not know. So Marcy kind of is like weirded out by things. And so she confides in her mother, and her mother's like, she'll grow out of it, Erin will grow out of it, and don't coddle her, don't play into things, don't do anything. It just kind of like ignore what's going on in a way. Turn your back on it. But of course, Marcy is of a different mindset, and so things kind of just snowball. So yeah, so she gets, basically what started this whole stuff is, like I had said, Erin started acting weird, started having reoccurring nightmares and things like that. But what's kind of tipped all that off of the ledge was that Marcy works in like a rest home. I don't even really want to say retirement home, but an assisted living. That's the word I'm looking for. She works in an assisted living facility. And so she goes and helps take care of elderly patients, like changing towels and things like that, and feedings and all of that. So she's at work one day and gets called by the principal of Erin's school to go in and have a meeting. Erin drew a picture that is a huge concern for the school administration because it involves death and is gory. So, and that's kind of what tipped things off, or pushed things off of the ledge for Marcy. So that's the main perspective we're following. We're following the perspective of the mother who's trying to comfort her child in a time of distress for her child. She doesn't know what's causing this distress, what she can do to alleviate some of this stress and of this distress and anything like that. So you're following a lot of that. So, okay, so the second perspective, which is where we actually start off with this perspective, but then the rest of the book mostly follows Marcy. So this perspective, this other perspective follows Stan Weir, I think is the last name. W-E-I-R, Weir. So Stan has a medical condition, and one day he's with his child and has this condition flare up. And his daughter, I think at the time was like 12, something like that. But he ends up in a car accident. He survives. His child does not. So if you cannot deal with death of a child, I mean, it's mentioned, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't go into, you know, how the child died and at what age, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't give you any descriptions as far as any suffering or any gore or anything like that. So he's dealing with the loss of that. And of course, he's in a relationship, and the relationship with his wife becomes strained, which is understandable when you lose a child. So so you're following Stan for the first, little bit. And what is his wife's name? I can't remember his wife's name. I think it's like Joe. And then, of course, there's a nickname that you learn a little later on. So Joe, I'm just going to refer to her as. So the relationship is strained. Well, one day she goes out, very early hours, kind of an odd hour, and ends up not coming home. Well, it turns out she is now dead. So Stan is dealing with the death of his wife and the death of his child. So he's in major grief mode. Now, major warning for talk of suicide. Okay? So talk of suicide. And it's referred to very frequently. So you definitely, if that is bothering to any way, this may not be the book for you. I mean, there are some graphic moments when it talks to like images, but yeah. Another trigger warning. No. You just look up trigger warnings if you have any, because there are a few of them. So like the affair, death, suicide, things like that. So definitely look up trigger warnings if there are things that could be bothersome to you. So there's that. Kind of lost my train of thought. So yeah, the trigger warnings. So Stan's dealing with this grief, and then so Stan. So again, so the first little bit you're following Stan's perspective, and then you switch to Marcy's perspective, and then they kind of merge, and so you're figuring out what these two different perspectives have in common. And as the story goes along, you start to kind of see the paths cross and weave together, and then you obviously have the conclusion. So I liked it. I think the narrator did a fabulous job. It was enjoyable. I am definitely up to rereading this at some point. But yeah, so my biggest complaint with this one is, which I was kind of sitting at like, I don't know, but it did lower the rating a little bit, is I think the ending was not all that believable. There are some aspects of the conclusion that I did believe, that I thought was, this is believable, this can actually happen. But one of the reveals, you're seeing Stan's point of view, or not really point of view, and then anyway, so Stan is involved in this reveal, but how he responds to this one reveal is, in my opinion, not believable. Because I think if I was in Stan's perspective and I found this particular thing out, I would be mad. I would be extremely mad. And like, it would not surprise me if someone's like, you caused me extra turmoil and extra grief, I'm going to take you to court, type of a thing. Now, for me, I would just say, don't ever contact me again. Don't, all of that. But there are people that would go to the other extreme. So the fact that it's like, not even middle of the line, don't contact me again. It's just like, oh, everything's kind of hunky-dory, is just not believable. So that's my big gripe with this book. Other than that, I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars. I'm not opposed to rereading it in the future. Because it also was not, now granted, all I did was listen. I did not read a physical book or physical copy. I just listened to the audiobook. Was there a little bit of mystery? Yes. Was it very thrilling? Meh. Kind of skimmed those 2 topics. So it was kind of a letdown in that department as well. But as a contemporary with a little bit of mystery, just a little bit of intrigue, it was good. I did enjoy it. But I would not specifically classify this as a mystery, in my opinion. So there's that. But that's going to be it for this review. Have you read this book before, and what are your opinions on Second Skin? Yeah. Oh, and another warning is there is religious talk in this. So if you don't like any sort of religious talk, and I'm talking like not like Christian or Catholicism and things like that. I'm talking like more, I don't even think Hindu's the right word. Or New Age, or reincarnations, mediums. That, I think that's where they get the paranormal aspect, is because of like references to reincarnation, references to maybe a little bit of possession, or someone kind of having the third eye to communicate with the dead. Things like that would be that for the paranormal. But again, I didn't think it was paranormal-esque. So, but if you don't like references to those types of things, then that's another thing to keep in mind when going into this, because it does delve into that quite a bit as well. You don't get a lot of specifics. Even as far as like religion, I guess there are some people that are like, in order to connect in certain ways with certain people and stuff, you have to go through like a hypnosis. So if that's bothering you, because that is a big thing too. So, and that's a big talking point too. So that can make, I do know, some people uncomfortable. Any talk of religion, I've heard a lot of, some people on BookTube say that they don't like certain types of religions talked about in books. So I just know that this is the type of thing that some people will go, no, not for me. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was done well and respectably. I don't think it made fun at anyone or anything like that. yeah, overall I thought it was a good book. The ending was just a bit of a letdown because it didn't seem realistic to me as far as how someone would react to this big reveal. Anyway, so that's going to be it for this review. So definitely let me know in the comments, as I've said before, if you read this book, what your thoughts were on it, and things like that. So until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.